Hey, what's going on, guys? It's this kid, and it's Tuesday, so we're gonna go over some patch notes for Tuesday. It's also the Tuesday before Christmas, so if anyone is celebrating that, hope you have a really good Christmas. And you get a lot of gifts, you get tons and tons of money. Um, but yeah, so I'll go over my Christmas present from Blizzard, which is my staff. I'm my druid. I just leveled this druid to 60 this week. Got full gear now. But I just got the staff, so got some good RNG on that. The only thing is it's going to take a lot more than a staff to make druids relevant in arenas. Resto druids specifically. The other two druid specs, totally fine. But resto druids not doing too great right now. But anyway, let's get into the patch notes. Now there's not a lot that changed here, but I do have a post. You can probably see at the tab at the top by Xaryu, and he has some good changes that he suggested. I think they are very, very good. There's maybe one or two things that I would change, but overall really, really good ideas, and I'll go over those at the end. So if you want those, stay tuned. But most of the stuff here is just Mythic dungeon changes. I wanted to get through these. Nathria as well. So really it's not too relevant because these bottom two are just for Mythic. I don't know too many people that are doing Stone Legion Generals on Mythic, unless you're in one of the top guilds in the world. But yeah, they were nerfed a little bit. Now this is where things get interesting because more people are doing these. So in Plaguefall, these are just 4 random mobs in the dungeon. Damage reduced by 50% per stack, damage reduced by 20%, cannot be interrupted, stuff like that. Globgrog, first boss in the instance, health reduced by 10% on all difficulties. Reduce the health of Slimy Smorgasbord by 15% on Mythic. So very, very good. Just makes stuff easier. It's cool to see. Spires of Ascension, these 4 mobs were nerfed here. Health reduced by 25%, health reduced by 30%. No longer use this ability, no longer use Crescendo ability. That's cool. Necrotic Wake on Marth. He's the guy that rides around on his little dragon. Tortured Echoes now expires after 30 seconds, was permanent. This is the ability, I believe, that is when you don't kill the mobs. So now expires after 30 seconds, and damage was increased by 100% on Mythic. So not necessarily a nerf, more of just a rework for that. But that's cool. Theater of Pain, Koltharak. This is the boss that kind of drains your soul. Then you gotta go chase your soul, get it back to not take a million damage. What you can do to stop your soul from running away is you stand in these grasping hands on the ground. Apparently they were only spawning in 1 location, but now they're spawning in 2 as they should. And there's another bug. But yeah, that's something else. Mordretha, last boss in that instance. Echoes of Carnage, periodic damage reduced by 50% on Mythic. Very, very significant. Dark Devastation, cast time increased. Ghostly Charge, cast time increased. Both good changes, at least for the player. Makes it easier. Bunch of Torghast changes. I don't typically go over those because it's just too much stuff, to be honest. They change a million things every single week. But this happened 3 days ago, so I think this is also relevant. Mage, Arcane, Touch of Magi no longer replicate increased damage taken bonuses. So I don't know if this really was happening too much, or if it was, I didn't really notice it. So no love loss really or anything like that. For Disc Priests, their legendary effects I don't know too much about these, but just reading these, I don't think they're super significant. Same thing with Holy, same thing with Affliction Locks. Some of these Covenant things, these are they're not necessarily cosmetic, but they are very insignificant. Stuff like getting disconnected, deals appropriate damage. So things just not working as they should now be working as intended, which is like the classic phrase, right? Whatever. Dungeons and raids. So I did also want to show this. Spires of Ascension. This was nerfed again 3 days ago. For Kintara, overhead slash now strikes her primary target, and its damage has been reduced by 40%. Only strikes her primary target. So I guess it was doing like some AoE and doing a lot of damage. So that's reduced. Increase the damage at, increase the distance at which melee characters can attack Kintara. Cool. These are basically the changes that they've been making this week. And it makes sense. The weekly was a Mythic weekly, so obviously they're going to be looking at that a little bit more. More people are doing the dungeons. They have more feedback, stuff like that. But I did want to go over Xaryu's kind of suggestions for nerfs and buffs for PvP. If you don't know, Xaryu's a very, very high-rated mage. He streams, so check him out. I'll link some of his stuff in the description. But there's some good changes, I think. So Moonkin Convoke minus 15% damage on Star Surge. This is good. I've seen a ton of videos of Moonkins just popping everything and deleting the whole team. So yeah, if they have a reduction on Star Surge, hopefully that'll get fixed a little bit. Intervene plus 30 seconds to CD. I know that a ton of people were complaining about this. I didn't see it too much, but I know that ability has been seeming like it's broken for a little while now. Rep Paladin, Word of Glory, minus 20% heal nerf. That would be amazing because they are popping wings and healing to full for about 10 seconds, 15 seconds. And it's really annoying. And I don't like being a healer in an arena and getting out healed by a class that can do that much damage instantly. Rep Paladin Burst minus 5 to 10%. This just goes along with the minus 20% heal nerf. He really doesn't like Rep Paladins. Jesus Christ. I mean, it sounds good to me. I don't play Rep Paladin, but maybe Rep Paladins are going to be pissed. Disc Priest. Thought Steal down to 12 seconds instead of 20. I don't see Thought Steal being too relevant too often, but I know they can take Sheep, which is, if they don't have a comp that has Sheep, it's so amazing because it just adds not the DR, but it adds the ability that's off of every other DR. So it's just so good to have, so insanely good to have. Nerf UA Lock Corruption Slow Legendary. Yeah, maybe they can rework that somehow. It's just really annoying to deal with that, honestly. Nerf Fail Resto Affinity by 5 to 10%. Nerf Enhance Insta Healing Surge by 5 to 10%. These are both really annoying. Same thing as before. It's just so annoying to be a healer in an arena and get out healed by a DPS class. Or DPS spec, sorry. Nerf Triune Ward to 55% per shield. This is very honorable because he plays mage. So very honorable of him to say this. And then some buffs. So buff Mistweaver Throughput plus 5 to 10%. Buff Furry Warrior. Buff Fury Warrior Strength 5%. Buff UA Lock Stam Int by 5%, buff Assassination Stam Agility by 5%, buff DH Stam Agility by 5%, and I would, if I was adding this, I would love to add buff DK, maybe maybe not stamina, because they do have a lot of defensives, but maybe just strength by 5%, because that's basically all they do. They don't have an insane amount of utility. They just have their insane damage, and it's kind of the same as Demon Hunters. I just think it goes hand in hand. If you're gonna buff Demon Hunters, buff DKs as well. But it is what it is. This is not official. This is just Xaryu making some suggestions. Again, I'll post this stuff in the description. But yeah, take a look at these. Make some comments if you want to see something else. It's also really good to post in the forums, stuff like that. I know Blizzard does read them here and there. But yeah, you guys have a good Christmas, and also a Happy New Year. I'll be posting another Tuesday notes video before the New Year, but have a good one, guys. Just enjoy the holiday season. Thank you.